it's difficult to, when I think about it, and this is something that I'm actively going through in therapy. But for a long time, I felt like nobody really cared or loved me. And I'd already, like I said, I already had the resentment. My mom wasn't in the picture. And then when when my other mom left, I was like, now I don't have a mom. And even when they decided to get back together and try to work things out, for a long time, I still felt the same way. Because in the back of my mind, only thing I could think about is, why would you leave me? Why would you leave me and my brother to fend for ourselves? That's the only thing that would replay in the back of my head. And of course, as I got older, me and my mom had this conversation already. And she didn't know a lot of the things that was going on. But at the same time, I felt like she could have fought for us or been a little bit more involved, at least for our sake. Because it was situations where we were put in very unsafe situations. And that and knowing that regardless of what the situation is, I have to protect my brother. That's hard for a child to have to do. And as I got older and realized, because I suppressed all of those emotions, and it's crazy because when I actually talked about it to my therapist, I showed no emotion. And she just looked at me, wondering why I am so numb to a lot of the trauma that I've experienced. And I told her, I said, well, I've always had to be strong. I was never truly allowed to be vulnerable because I was put in a situation where my strength had to overpower anything else. Survival kicked in, so vulnerability went out the window. So now that I'm older and I'm trying to heal from those things, it hits a little different. Because you realize I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask for that life. I did not ask to have to go through that. But as a child, nobody cared. That's how I felt. Nobody cared. You know, knowing that my sisters and my youngest brother, they had everything they needed. They had a roof over their head, clothes on their back, had food on the table every day. They had help with homework. They had all those different things. And me and my brother was fighting for our lives every day. Every single day of that time period that they were separated. And to be honest, if I can be perfectly honest, it should have been a conversation about what happened. And I think that my brother and I should have gotten therapy even after that. And of course, my dad don't quite remember a lot of it because he had his own things going on. But I don't wish that for anybody. I I pray that anybody that's in that situation or going through that you speak out and talk to somebody and get the help you need. Because even during that time period when I was going through that, was several instances where I had people try to take advantage of me and try to cause physical harm and mentally and emotionally. And in so many ways, it made me angry. I was so angry at the world and angry with my parents. And I just wanted to run away. It was several times during those time periods I thought about running away. Because I feel like my situation couldn't have gotten any worse. But I couldn't, because I couldn't leave my brother. I couldn't leave him behind. And looking back at it, people growing up, a lot of times when I would act out and lash out and different things, nobody ever questioned where it could have come from. But I had so much built up trauma that it just was manifesting itself in such a negative way. And in so many ways, I became very violent. And because I was just angry, had a lot of resentment, I felt neglected and unloved. I was very unaffectionate because I feel like affection was a weakness and people prey on weaknesses. That's how I felt. And my ability to show love was tough love because that's what I was shown. And even when they tried to change the scope of things, it didn't make a difference because that trauma was already there. And I felt like the best form of love to give is tough love because in so many ways in my life, I had to be tough. And I couldn't allow nobody to get close to me. I couldn't allow people to love me because I felt like they were going to harm me in some way.